Hello and welcome back to the Nihil channel, your premier destination for Shining Wisdom and Shining Wisdom related news. I really enjoy the game Shining Wisdom, except for the gameplay part. I really like the story. I think it's a really important entry to like the Shining Force series. I just wish it was a little bit closer to the Shining Force genre, you know, the tactical stuff. Well, I have to wish no longer. Studio Didakus, a Brazilian game studio headed by, I believe his name is just Didakus, is working on Epic Shining Wisdom, which, as you can see from the little image here, is a remake of Shining Wisdom in the, it's actually in Chaos Wizard's engine. I don't remember I think it's just called the Chaos Engine. And it's in the same genre as Shining Force now. It's super exciting. I totally forgot to mention, I'm joined today by Captain, who has co-commentated the Shining in the Darkness Let's Play. Hey, Captain.
How you doing today, Nihil?
I'm doing awesome. I'm super excited for this project. So let's get into it. So I'll go over the website a little bit, and then I've got some exclusives for you all as well. So Epic Shining Wisdom is a remake of the classic Sega Saturn game. What would happen if instead of just Kazan and Sarah being sent by Grand Seal to help the main character of Shining Wisdom, Mars, that I'm sure we're all familiar with, what would happen if they sent the caravan full of heroes from Shining Force 2? Thus, now in the game, Mars can recruit the beloved heroes of Grand Seal while fighting alongside Wisdom characters like Princess Cetera and the Gudo Fairy that we are all so fond of. So, we'll just breeze through this because you guys can read this on your own. It's going to be linked in the description. The story remains untouched, but is told in greater detail, using the best translations and information from extra materials such as guides and books, which I think is absolutely awesome. Let's see. Graphics are inspired by the Sega Saturn, and Shining Soul, which I have not played yet. Captain, have you played Shining Soul?
No, I have not.
Okay. Well, a lot of the art's being done by Claire Starsword, and Claire does an awesome job. There's also, it says, an incredible original soundtrack, which I'm really curious about. I'm wondering if it's going to be all original, or if it's going to be remakes of some of the songs that are already in the game.
Some of the epic 15-second loops.
Most of them are a little bit longer than that.
Oh, are they 20? Okay, 20-second loops.
I think they're longer than that. I think that some of them are actually pretty long.
I always think of the first cave. That I don't know exactly how long that is, but it's not very long.
Yeah, that's very true. So yeah, it's gonna have gameplay the same as the Force games, but with some twists from Shining Force 3, like special attacks, multiple weapons, and forging with multiple materials. So we can look forward to sort of a crafting element. Mars is still the hero of the game, but you have a silent protagonist that is you, the custom character, which I think is a really interesting choice. Didakus says that this is the same vein as Shining Soul, where you choose a class and a color palette for yourself. And character will be a childhood friend of Mars. Why such an obscure and underrated game? So he says, I have two goals. My secondary goal is to provide a way fans can experience the Shining Wisdom story and soundtrack without the need to suffer the button-mashing experience of the original. Which, yeah, I felt some kind of way about when I opened the options screen and it asked if I wanted my character to be on automatic or manual. And that's related to button-mashing mechanics. And he says, my primary goal is to try to recreate my experience of playing Shining Force 2 for the first time. The sense of adventure, the unknown story and dangers, the marvelous characters, and the secrets. And then he says, after Wisdom's complete, he plans to remake Shining Force 1 and 2, I'm guessing in the same engine. And there's a demo coming soon, but I have that demo right now. So we're gonna show that off. And then we'll cut to who all worked on it. So, let's jump to the demo. And bang, we're at the demo, which, I really like this art. I looked at it before because I think it's one of the covers of the game, but it's just cool to hear this music again. I don't know if you have thoughts.
I wanted to say that it was a very short loop, but no, I love the artwork. It's gorgeous. And I think it's interesting, better than any of the games before it. Shining Wisdom really captures the original intent of the artwork and its characters. You know, it is Sega Saturn, it's a little bit better graphics, but for all the things that you could gripe about with Shining Wisdom, the artwork's really, really great.
Yeah, totally. I don't disagree with that. Welcome to Epic Shining Wisdom, a reimagination of Shining Wisdom as a tactical RPG. It's just an alpha, a demo is coming out soon. Alright, so we can just jump in, but I did notice, I don't think there's challenges yet, but in the options, they already have some things that I was noticing. And some of these are just part of Chaos Wizard's engine. But I think it's in cheats. Yeah, I'm very excited by some of these things. If that's, if this is your cup of tea, you can do all sorts of things like control all units, invincibility, buy all items, infinite magic. It's just kind of fun to mess around with.
I see a epic Shining Wisdom remake 2-player controlled playthrough in your future.
Maybe. If that's something you guys want, let me know. Alright, let's choose a save slot. And we got Mars. So we're just going to end, and I think it'll just... Yeah, it just knows it's Mars. And here we are. So we've got Swordsman Mars, who has Escape, not Egress, but Escape, and a battered sword. We've got Sarah, and we've got Kazan. So this is pretty cool. I like that the portrait border is the Shining Wisdom portrait border. Alright, had to do some audio balancing, but here we go, Shining Wisdom stuff. So let's look at kind of what the enemies are. Huge Mantis, so we don't have portraits for them yet, but yeah, it's crazy. It just looks like Shining Wisdom. Like, this is the first map right here. You exit your house. Oh, there's the end of the loop. You exit your house just right over here. It's off screen. And this is map 1. Like, it's crazy that this is just how it is. You know, it's a very good recreation. But let's look at the battle stuff, because, I mean, that's what we're curious about, right?
The classic black and white grid, no RPG Maker green or red and blue.
Nope. Very shining. I'm kind of looking at the art from, like, all the angles. I like it a lot. I think I like the sprites. That's probably my favorite art thing. These are really well done.
They do feel very Shining Force as opposed to Shining Wisdom, except for the bug. The bug is very much, that's very Shining Wisdom.
Yeah, I don't know how much you could do about that. Like, it's just a praying mantis, you know? Alright, let's blaze one of them, see how that looks. So, that's the Shining Force 2 Kazan. The Mantis looked great.
I feel nostalgic. Is that weird? This is a brand new game, but like the way that battle scheme comes through, it just hits me right in the feels.
I also love that in the Chaos engine, we don't have to restart the songs.
You know, that's a feature that you don't realize you miss until you play one of the Shining Force games a few too many times.
Ooh, Mars looks good. You know, I don't miss it.
No, I don't either. What's that on his left hand?
I'm not sure. I'll try and look again. I'm gonna try to do this. Well, I was gonna try to do. I have an interview with the developer, and it's all text because he primarily speaks Portuguese. But let's see. Interesting. I think it's just some kind of shield. Yeah. Oh, we got a double.
Nice.
Interesting. I also don't know what happens when we win this demo. Oh, that looks so good. I like the bat attack animation. Ooh, he's getting pretty low. Okay, here we go.
So we've got Sarah. We'll be fine.
I wonder what healing looks like. Pretty good. I think Chaos Wizard made that one.
I was going to say, I think I've seen that on Chaos Wizard's YouTube channel. He has a YouTube channel where he shows off all of the new animations he's creating for the channel.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that heal is definitely one of his.
Yeah, and I meant to say, too, if you guys are not sure what I'm talking about with Chaos Wizard, his project is called Adventures Unbound. And I've covered it on the channel. That'll be in the description as well, because it's a great project. I actually had somebody asking me about it just last week. Like, you know, what's happening with this? And it's like, well, here's your answer. This is what's happening with this. This is what's happening with the engine. Do I want to get her in attacking?
Well, if she's like Shining Force 2 Sarah, she's probably pretty strong.
Yep,
yeah.
She's as strong as Mars is.
So can you give the listeners a preview of what's going on with the Engine of Chaos? I went and looked it up. It's Engine of Chaos is what he's got it called.
Okay. I mean, I know he's still working on his own project, but, I mean, I think he's helping out with this one as well. So, this is kind of what's happening with it.
That's awesome.
I know he has, like, the how to use it, on his YouTube. And I'm just really excited to see the community really embracing this. Like, this is the first project, I think, that's gone public that is using his engine, besides his own game. Do we have any items? No. I think we start attacking the Pigman, because he's a little scary.
Yes.
I just realized my error. In that I can't heal Mars.
Well, how much defense does the Pigman have? I think probably beatable by Sarah, isn't it?
Probably. I just don't want him to get attacked by both of those.
Yeah, no, I understand.
But I think you're right. I think we defeat the Pigman. Oh no!
Wait, oh, I was gonna say, well, she could double, but...
Alright, let's hide Mars, I think, and see if they go for the others. Double again? No. Okay, well, we leveled at least.
That'll help.
Yeah, that'll help keep us alive. This is awesome.
So what I've seen so far, and this is just my modding head hat put on, it looks like he's using the level up system from Shining Force 2 rather than 1. And
oh,
what
there's
I mean by that
counters.
Is, yeah, this feels a little, and I think that makes sense. They said it's supposed to be like Shining Force 2, but like we're not getting level ups of no stats or 5 HP. It's like 1, 1, 1, and 2.
Mm-hmm. Also, that little block there, that was cool. And now we do 6 damage, so we can just wipe them. Not too hard for a demo, but this is also, like we said, this is the first screen, pretty much, so it shouldn't be the most difficult thing in the world.
No.
Oh, I can walk around now. Okay, so we can see the different little things here. Ooh, I don't know what happens if I cast Escape. I like to break demos that I'm sent, as Chaos Wizard knows. So I'll try that in a minute and just see what happens.
I would say that'll be the last thing we try.
Yeah. So I'm curious if it'll let me go into the first town, if that's built yet, or if it's just gonna say, thanks for playing. I should try to read these. Do these have text? You find nothing of value, so not yet.
Not yet.
Nope. Okay, that's totally fine. This is a pretty early demo. Obviously, it's like an alpha. It's even before the demo. But yeah. I'm super into it. So, now, I think we do the interview stuff. Alright, I'm gonna refresh the game real quick. And,
let's egress first. Let's see if we can
break
it.
Good call, good call. No.
Okay.
He thought of everything. Alright, we're back. Captain had a really good point about this being in this engine, and I thought it would actually be a good time to talk about real quick the why. Why this engine, instead of doing something like making it on the same engine Shining Force 1 is on. And the answer, as Captain can attest to, because he makes things on the Shining Force 1 engine, I think this is a lot less limited. Do you want to speak about that?
Sure. Yes, I'm sure that's true, and the limitations are probably tied into what Chaos Wizard wants to do. And as you said earlier, if there's truly partnership happening here, then the sky is the limit. Yeah, Shining Force 1, I love the game. Shining Force 2 as well, but within the limitations of what the game gives you, there's only so much that you can do. And as you think about, what if I wanted to have a character that as you level up, they can do different things? Well, Shining Force isn't really designed to do that, right? You don't get abilities, you don't get strengths and weaknesses. Whatever you have at level 1, unless you're getting new equipment or a new spell, you're going to be exactly the same thing at level 10, level 20, level 30 promoted. It's all just the same. And so you really limit what you can do. And I have a lot of admiration for the Shining Force alternate team and the way that they've been able to take that very limited idea, stretch as far as you can stretch to make really different, interesting characters. But if you take a step back and look at it, it's unique equipment, it's cool spells, it's interactions with all of those things. It's all within a very, very limited framework. And so you can do a lot more fun things when you're in a creator or an editor of that kind, where you can really do whatever you want.
Yeah, very much so, and I'm really excited about it. So, like I said, I got an interview with Didakus, and this is text-based. If you're wondering why he's not on, it's because he primarily speaks Portuguese. Although I bet his English is better than he thinks it is. That is usually my experience. But I asked him, why Shining Wisdom? Did you play this game as a kid, and what does the game mean to you? So Captain is going to be the voice of Didakus for us.
All right, I'm ready. So that was the first question, I'm answering it?
Yes. Why Shining Wisdom? Did you play it as a kid, and what does the game mean to you?
All right. Well, I grew up playing all the Shining titles on the Mega Drive and Saturn, including Wisdom. My favorite is 2, but I chose Wisdom because he was the weird one in the group. Initially, I was going to remake Shining Force 2, actually did, the first 7 battles, but then I realized what I would like to do was redo my experience of discovering and playing Shining Force 2 for the first time. The sense of discovery, new and unexpected characters, an incredible story. I realized I could achieve this by doing the remake of Wisdom, which has a lot of charm and very charismatic characters. The fact that the vast majority of fans hadn't played or finished Wisdom was a stimulus for this. It meant that they could go and get that same experience.
Awesome. I really, really like that answer, and I think it's funny that we all just kind of, accept, yeah, nobody's played Wisdom, and if you have, a lot didn't finish. I love how we just all know that.
There are the few that speedrun it, though. There is that elusive Shining Wisdom speedrun out there somewhere.
Yes. So, what do you think, Didakus, about Shining Wisdom's gameplay?
Shining Wisdom has a lot of good ideas in the gameplay, such as the combination of weapons with artifacts, bizarre enemies, mazes, in addition to the hit detection being excellent. Unfortunately, the gimmick of having to speed up to proceed destroys the gameplay. It makes it very frustrating. It would have been an excellent game for the 32X. It was the initial idea, but they left something to be desired on the Saturn. I don't think it's a very bad game, you just need to be patient with it. Today, when I play on emulators that allow me to accelerate just by holding down the button with a turbo function, and it's much better.
I did not do that, because I felt like I wanted that, I wanted to experience what you would have experienced playing it all the way back when it came out. So I even bought, the Sega Saturn controller and stuff. But
Did
yeah.
you buy the one that's shaped like a dinner plate?
I don't know if it was shaped like it. Oh, no. I know what you're talking about. No, I just bought the regular basic one that you would have had back in the day. And, yeah, it was not a great experience doing the mashing. But it was pretty core to the experience, so I definitely get I get it, but yeah, I'm glad to not have to mash in the remake. So my next question is, I see in the FAQ section there's going to be a custom character, and I'm referring to the FAQ section on his website. Is the custom character involved in the story?
Well, in every Shining game, you need to name your hero, who becomes a silent protagonist. However, the hero is not customizable. They already have an official name, they have an official story, and that makes this customization a bit dubious. So I decided to separate the concepts once and for all. The protagonist is still Mars, but you play as his childhood training buddy, who accompanies him on the adventure. In this case, you are the silent protagonist, and Mars may have a few lines. So he'll be more of a gameplay novelty than a story addition, as he won't say anything throughout the game. But this will greatly increase the replay value. You can play with a centaur, or a wizard, or have an extra healer, maybe even a birdman, and have access to flying from the very beginning. The system will be based on Shining Soul 1, where you will choose a class and color palette for your character. We'll have characters from Shining Force 2, except for Bowie, Kiwi, Lemon, Claude, and Peter. We will also have 6 exclusive Shining Wisdom characters.
I'm really curious as to who those exclusive characters are. I don't know the answer to that, but I'm really excited to play through and find out, like the Hobbit King or something.
I hope one of them is a sleeping guard. It just feels like that's the right thing to do.
I was just about to say, that would be fun. Having one of those guards do it. Let's see, the next question. Question 4. I saw that you mentioned secrets. Are you planning secret characters?
All characters will be optional. Here's how it will work. There is blue crystals in Wisdom that I will rename Force Crystals. All characters will be available inside Caravan from the start, but you need to trade 1 crystal for a character to join. So, we can recruit in any order and leave out anyone you don't want. Players will usually receive 1 crystal after each boss, and 1 free at the beginning. The character joins at Mars's current level so that it will be balanced. The Wisdom unique characters, Sarah and Kazan will join as the story develops normally. Being able to customize the character join order will increase replay value and allow for unique strategies for each player style. For example, Luke will always be my first join because I love him so much. There's also a he written in here, but I'll just say he instead of laugh.
It's really interesting to me. It always has been that, you know, Shining Force characters really... everybody kind of has their favorite. And, like, you know, for me, I don't care about Luke from Shining Force 2 at all. I just don't think he's that interesting. But I have, you know, my characters, like Zinc, that I think are really cool, that other people are just like, eh. Whatever.
Well, that's funny. Wasn't Luke one of the characters that you kept all the way through to the end of Shining Force 2 in your playthrough?
I can't remember. I don't think so. His damage just drops off really hard.
It does, I agree.
I might have. It might have been good to have a flyer, but I like the sound of that from a replayability standpoint. Like, your player character being able to be any class, and like you said, having a birdman and flying really early. I wonder, too, like, what kind of parts of the map that unlocks that you can just fly over water and things, or if that'll be allowed.
It makes me think of the randomizer that you played on stream a few months ago. I think that's part of the appeal of those randomizers is getting different characters at different times and what it unlocks. And I mean, that's with randomization where you don't really know what you're going to get. I think the idea of being able to pick and choose, you're right, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I also like the color, that you can pick a color palette. That's really neat. Will the music... The next question is, will the music be original, or is it new versions of the old music? Or remixes?
At first, I'll use the original music, cut and looped to fit the pacing of a strategy game, but I'm open to using remixes. But I don't think there are many of Wisdom songs.
There are not. I can confirm.
I'm shocked to hear that.
There's not a whole lot of content about Wisdom to begin with. My next question is, I see that you're planning on doing Shining Force 1 and 2 remakes after this project. How did you settle on that, and what do you hope to change about those games?
It's every fan's wish to make remakes of these games. The main change that I would make is to tell the story in more detail using complementary materials such as the books and guides. In addition to following the same graphic style of Epic Wisdom, 32 by 32 sprites with no color limits instead of the original 24 by 24. Bigger portraits, more fluid animations, things that we can't do with a hack on the Mega Drive.
Very, very true. I really look forward to seeing all that updated art and stuff, and I'm wondering if that is going to lead to eventually a lot of art just being made for the Engine of Chaos. You know, like specifically, as we do more and more Shining projects using the engine. That's a really exciting thing to think about, I think.
It is, and what I noticed in the demo where it stood out the most was in the map sprites. And he mentions this 24 by 24, that's the limits for the map sprites. We have a lot of really beautiful portraits already for a lot of these characters because there's enough detail on the Mega Drive or the Genesis to get to that beautiful detail. We have a lot of beautiful battle sprites, but those map sprites, yeah, back to the limitations of doing it in the ROM hack. Can't make them any bigger. And I noticed in the demo that the sprites looked like the Shining Force 2 sprites, but they were bigger, they were more detailed, they were prettier. I could see a big influx of map sprites, which is not something that people do spend a lot of time on. It feels like almost an afterthought, and now it could be a place to focus.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I really like that as well. Like, I can even see their eye colors, which is really cool. I just think so much about this is awesome. Okay, my next question, my final question, is I asked Didakus, is there anything else you want to talk about or any other detail you want to include that I haven't asked about?
I can talk about the current state of the game. In this alpha that I sent you, we have a test battle, mainly to get a feel for the graphics and the fluidity. In this battle, the enemies still don't have programmed AI, so they just advance towards you without thinking. Don't try to pass items to other characters. The system is already working, but in this test battle, it will give a bug. I'm not sure why. The version that I have is already much more advanced, with the 5 demo battles almost ready. I want to try to launch the demo as soon as possible. If not by the end of the year, it'll be by the end of January. It will have the first chapter with 5 battles.
So look forward to that, like he said, before the end of the year or end of January. Obviously, I will be covering that on the channel because it's awesome, and I'm really excited about it. I really, really appreciate his interview, and I appreciate the demo, and I appreciate Captain reading and being Didakus for me. The last thing that Didakus really wanted to do was to ask for help if anybody is interested in getting involved. So I'm gonna finish the demo again real fast because I mean I've got like 2 attacks to make. Oh, we get a crit. Perfect to bring down that pig man. Captain can't see it right now, so I'm narrating. And we'll cast Blaze on the last Mantis. Sick. Okay. And that's the end of the demo again. Alright, we're going to cut to the website and see who all's working on it and how you can get involved and help. Alright, we're back to the Studio Didakus website that is also linked in the description, just a reminder again. And here is the epic Shittig team. Oh no, I just noticed that. So he says, we're still a small team. I shared my ideas with Claire, and they gladly joined me. All the work is based on Chaos Wizard's Chaos Engine for Game Maker Studio 2. Can't thank him enough. I do need help. Consider sending me a message if you want to help pixel art or Game Maker language scripts and tweaks. So we've got Didakus working on game design, sprites, and a lot of things. Claire Starsword, who is the main artist, working on maps, portraits, and battle sprites. And there's the Tumblr for that. We got Chaos Wizard, the creator of the engine that's being used, of course, even if he's not officially part of the team. Okay, so maybe he's not officially working on it, but obviously he's working on the engine, and he's a nice guy. He'll probably help you troubleshoot. And then we've got Lynx, an amazing pixel artist that helped us in battle sprites. And we have some other sprites here that were not in the game yet. So we've got the princess here and Luke, which I think both of those look really good too.
Yeah, that's fantastic. See, again, it's like it's the same thing we remember seeing, but so much more detail and so much more beauty to it.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's like you can just appreciate so much. kind of the character design and stuff when you can make people look this unique. So, Didakus says, if anyone wants to help, please let me know. The biggest obstacle for the game, and the next ones to be ready really quickly, are the graphics. I'm commissioning many artists to make map sprites in the Shining Soul style, and to make new battle sprites for the new monsters. There are many graphics to make, so if you're a pixel artist and want to help me, talk to me. But you can also help by donating to fund the commissions. I spend around $10 for each character to be ready. It may not be much for some people, but here in Brazil, where I live, $10 is a considerable amount. If a few people donate $10, I can have many more characters ready very quickly. He says, I also need some help with programming in Game Maker Studio. Chaos Wizard helps me a lot, and Raul Exvalon, I think that's how you pronounce that, is also programming some new systems for me. But if there are more people who can help with Game Maker Studio, it would speed up the process greatly. The engine already has many features ready, but I want to add a couple of new things. So, he, let me see, is there a donation page on the website? I'm not actually sure. If not, I've got a link for that. Yeah, there is, right here. Okay. So I'm not going to click that link because I don't want to show you all my PayPal information, but I am going to send him $10 real quick. I think it is really cool that he tells you exactly what that gets you. And he's also working on another game here, Quasar Core, which is an original. And so, I mean, you can kind of see Xeno is part of it, who's part of the Shining Force community as well. I'll kind of scroll through some of the characters real fast, just to kind of show that project off as well, if you want to see what else he's working on. But yeah, I'm really, really excited about this project. I'm going to be supporting it going forward, and you can too. Link in the description below. I think that's about it. Captain, do you think there's anything else I should cover?
No, I don't think so, but I love the idea of the community coming together. We talk all the time about we want to see more games like this. This is an opportunity to see the remake that we probably would never get otherwise. And by supporting this work, we can see it happen.
Absolutely, and I'm super stoked about it. So, yeah, thank you all so much for tuning in. Are you excited for the Shining Wisdom remake? And did you play the original? Let me know in the comments below. And if you donate, make sure to let me know that too, because that's really, really cool of you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!